On the first day of free agency, which officially began today, Caitlin Clark instructed the Indiana Fever's front staff, Music, to construct her a championship squad, and they did just that. Within hours of the signing period opening, 4 free agents, 4 distinct voids from the previous season were filled. One of them unintentionally leaked. One of them was an outright theft from 2 of the league's largest teams. One of them signs a $1 million contract, becoming the first player in Fever history to do so. Agreement. One of them serves as the locker room's anchor and is a veteran. And you know what? Music it is. Further additions are anticipated to complete the front office's 2026 championship roster, which we will discuss in more detail shortly. Do you believe the Fever will take home a championship in 2026? Tell me in the comments section below. I see a lot of players that want to go, and many of them are doing so this offseason. Will want to join the Fever, but they will have a choice of free agents who will say, I want to play here. I, Caitlin Clark, didn't say this in a whisper. During an NBC broadcast, she revealed to the audience what songs she anticipated from the 2026 season. Last year, we were attempting to win everything. We are undoubtedly attempting to accomplish that this year. She continued, stating unequivocally, I believe we're going to be that's not a player hedging. I'm the favorite to win it all. That's a franchise player publicly warning the front management. Kelly Krauskopf, Amber Cox, and Stephanie White, Music, now had to equal that intensity or watch as Clark became increasingly irritated. And to their credit, they remained unflinching. This offseason, Krauskopf, Cox, and White all stated that the Fever are now a destination. The culture surrounding this team has entirely changed from something players tolerated to something they genuinely want to be a part of. And free agents are calling Indiana rather than the other way around. And look, there are many WNBA teams when Music saw it that advertise themselves as destinations and then watch free players sign elsewhere. So it's a bold statement to make. Displayed it. Signing Kelsey is the top priority. Mitchell is back. Last year, I was on the first team of the WNBA. In the backcourt, he's kind of my running mate. Nothing compares to playing for the Fever because she makes it so simple for me. We're going to be the favorites to win everything, in my opinion. It adds a little pressure, but that's what you enjoy about it. We have an amazing team, a fantastic coach, and an amazing support staff, so we're really excited. Clark's the way this offseason operates was also intriguingly altered by the public challenge. Every decision made by the front office is now evaluated in relation to a particular request made by the franchise player. And most WNBA front offices have never had to deal with that kind of pressure. Building an abstract roster is not what this is. It is a direct answer to a direct inquiry. The Fever had a clear list going into the offseason. 4 top priorities, and each one was linked to a certain issue that appeared on screen during the previous season. First, Music must do everything in its power to maintain the Mitchell-Clark backcourt. Second, and give Boston more size up front so they can run and defend together. Third, add wings with excellent scoring and defensive skills. Fourth, instead of merely holding the ball and hoping, find a backup guard who can actually handle the offense when Clark or Mitchell are sidelined. At last, Amber Cox appears. You all have a pulse. Despite the fact that there is still a lot of music to be done, she is at last making progress. This is fantastic news. Only 3 players, Clark, Boston, and Mycala Timpson, were under contract when the Fever entered free agency. Today, April 11th, 2026, is the formal opening day for signings, and Indiana wasted no time at all. Let's first discuss the necessary relocation before moving on to the new faces. Music. Kelsey Mitchell signed a new contract with the Indiana Fever on a $1 Supermax contract for 1 year. $4 million, one of the first Supermax deals awarded under the new CBA alongside Aja Wilson, and the first $1 million contract in Fever history. The remainder of the offseason would look entirely different without this acquisition. ESPN has informed us that Fever is nearing a contract to bring back All-Star guard Kelsey Mitchell as they work on their lineup. According to reports, this deal is worth $1.4 million. This is the Fever's first Supermax contract under the new WNBA labor agreement, which makes it intriguing. Mitchell, what say you? She received an All-Star nomination and an All-WNBA first-team selection after placing 5th in the MVP voting the previous season. Because the money hits differently when you know the past? Let's speak about what Mitchell actually had to go through to get here. In 2022, she remained with the Fever for a 5-win campaign. one of the league's worst records that year, stayed when she had the opportunity to push her way out and no one would have blamed her, and stayed when the team around her was actually difficult to watch. That's nearly 10 years of devotion to a team that lost the majority of its games. She has now signed a $1 million contract, making her the first player in that team's history. There was a lot of stress surrounding Mitchell's circumstances going into this offseason. After the 2025 season, she was named to the first team of the WNBA, and a player of that caliber with a contract that is about to expire quickly draws interest from all over the league. In order to secure exclusive negotiation rights before any other team could pursue her, the Fever invoked the core designation under the new CBA, Music. This is the ideal course of action when attempting to retain your top backcourt pair. Mitchell decided to stay rather than see what the open market would have offered because Indiana controlled the debate under that fundamental categorization. It can be summed up as the first 2 or 3 years. You don't need to tell me a lengthy tale. I was present with you for 2 of them, so let me know what that difficult time was like. After that, we can sort of skip ahead and get to where you are now. Yes, I believe that Indy's small year is 1 to 3 and 1/2 music. Let me just state this. I had 4 head coaches throughout my 7 years in Indianapolis. Oh, I see. That was sort of like music in and of itself. No one truly understands what it's like to have a black stick at the bottom. I've been there, so trust me. Laughing. Believe me. Thus, that's actually how it began. Because it's not just about this season, the 1-year structure is worth listening to. The epic clause in the new CBA makes both Clark and Boston max eligible. And keeping Mitchell onto the cap flexibility Indiana needs to manage those talks when they happen is preserved by the 1-year agreement. Mitchell is currently fully committed to a championship run while simultaneously placing a 1-year wager on herself. This player prioritizes a ring over long-term security elsewhere. The basketball comes next. Mitchell creates defensive collapses, kicks out to Clark in the corners. Deanna attacks downhill off the dribble better than anyone in the NBA. Additionally, that order is what makes it quite difficult to guard this backcourt. Defenses are unable to select a lane. Clark will receive open looks if they load up to prevent Mitchell from reaching the rim. Mitchell has a runway if they drive Clark off screens. Mitchell intentionally makes Clark more difficult to guard, which is much different from simply enhancing Clark's skill. In the end, Chini Ogwumike revealed the information on Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell, a 3-time WNBA All-Star and member of the first team, is finalizing a $1 1-year, $4 million Supermax contract to rejoin the Indiana Fever. With 5 victories in 2022 and a spot on the first team of the WNBA in 2025, Mitchell's skill level developed in tandem with her squad. And she became the type of player who merits a Supermax as her decision-making improved and her shot selection tightened. On Indiana's off-season list, Priority 2 demanded very different tactics. Monique Billings was desired by the Golden State Valkyries. She was also desired by the New York Liberty. She was acquired by Indiana anyway, and the reason for this is that no other franchise could truly provide her with music. The front court adjacent to Aliyah Boston had a serious music issue the previous season, so let's discuss what Billings actually fixes. Undoubtedly, Natasha Howard contributed toughness and interior defense, but she also defended the post, ran the court at Clark's pace, and spaced out near the 3-point line to provide opportunities for Clark's drive and kick game. That combo wasn't always present without accruing foul trouble on every other possession. When the forward next to Boston can do all 3 of those things, the Fever's offense runs smoothly. Too frequently last season, it halted because that forward was unable to do so. I've been informed that Monique Billings should sign with the Indiana Fever after attending a meeting with the New York Liberty. Free agency in the WNBA. This is significant news. A special thanks to Roberta. Listen, I have no idea what you did or what you previously said about Caitlin Clark. All I know is that in this free agency, you've been bringing some heat. Many of the people we typically visit have been surpassed by you. Hey, it's what it is. Man, congratulations to Roberta on this one. Monique Billings seems to be signing with the Indiana Fever, and her chemistry with Caitlin Clark was evident at Team USA. Billings is 6 feet 4 inches. Music. She finishes at the rim, stretches the floor from the perimeter, and sprints. When your point guard pushes pace like Clark does, that last part matters more than people realize. A forward who jogs the transition is a forward who takes herself out of plays before they even develop. Billings sprints instead of jogging. Compare her to Howard on the numbers that really matter for Indiana's system. Music Billings outperforms Stephanie White in every category, including floor spacing, transition frequency, post-defense foul rate, and pick-and-roll coverage. This is where things get interesting because this signing wasn't just a roster fit. Indiana already had a relationship with Clark. Our Billings and Clark played together at the FIBA World Cup qualifiers in Puerto Rico, and Billings finished that tournament music as the most frequent recipient of Clark's assists. When two players develop that kind of Monique Billings-Caitlin Clark in a pick and roll, I can already see it. Look at that. Good screen. That's a good physical screen. Great bounce pass from the GOAT. Stephanie White, an assistant coach on that Team USA staff, saw that connection form in real time and knew exactly what she was looking at. On-court shorthand in a competitive international setting, you don't need a training camp to build chemistry from scratch. We're going to see a lot of this two-man action this year. Look at it. We're going to see a lot of it, and I can't wait. Stop with Clark. Billings played with Kelsey Mitchell in Unrivaled. Denom music, so she already knows the timing and tendencies of both Indiana primary ball handlers. Golden State had the Bay Area market and a brand new franchise with money to spend. New York had a championship pedigree and a roster full of proven winners. And Indiana offered a starting role built around her particular skill set, a facility that no other WNBA team can match, and a realistic shot at a ring in 2026 music. The Fever are adding a player who has essentially already been in the system, just in a different uniform. Instead of a supporting role elsewhere, Golden State never used their core designation on Billings music, which meant that Indiana signed her as an unrestricted free agent without paying the Valkyries any money. The Fever acquired her for free, and two elite teams witnessed it. And Tyasha Harris wasn't made public by a press release. Instead, Fever general manager Amber Cox and assistant coach Austin Kelly shared a workout video featuring Harris, tagging it with the hashtag #FeelingFeverish. The market understood exactly what that meant right away. If you're not serious, you don't fly someone in for a workout with the general manager watching courtside, and you definitely don't post it publicly with that hashtag if the deal isn't essentially done. The announcement came before the announcement. The backup guard spot needed to be fixed badly. Sydney Colson tore her ACL last season and won't be available, so Indiana's options behind Clark and Mitchell last year are gone. And what took their place was necessary for Stephanie White's offense to function. When Clark is sidelined, the offense cannot simply wait for her to return. Someone on that bench must take the initiative, run pick and rolls, and make quick decisions under pressure. That's a specific skill set that doesn't come easily. One thing I do know is that Ty Harris is a reliable backup point guard and backup player. She was a good player who, I believe, occasionally started for the Connecticut Sun. She can play this game. I believe she's good enough to come in and, spell Caitlin Clark 8 to 10 minutes a game. All right, come in for those 8 to 12 minutes at 12 minutes at most, and music, give some quality minutes as a backup point guard. Harris spent time with the Connecticut Sun. Her career shooting percentage is about 40% from three, and she's only 27 years old, so she's not a stopgap. She pushes pace, defends, and has been compared to Mario Chalmers, a plus defender who can run an offense without making it a mess. White's system rewards guards who make quick decisions in pick and roll, hit corner threes off movement, and stay attached on defense. Harris satisfies all of those requirements at a price point that doesn't eat into the Damiris Dantas is set to sign with the Indiana Fever. And, well, Dantas gets the one-on-one isolation after the triple. Look at the footwork, the fadeaway off 1 foot. Beautifully. Harris signs with Indiana as the backup point guard, and the bench music suddenly looks like something you'd actually trust in a playoff game, rather than a unit you'd hide and hope nobody notices. Let's now discuss Damiris Dantas, who returns to Indiana on the veteran minimum. Music. This one is a little different. It's not about a starring role or a positional upgrade. Dantas shoots from the perimeter, she prepares properly, and she's been around long enough to know what a championship push actually feels like from music the inside. It's really unclear whether her shooting recovers after a difficult stretch and whether she fits neatly into White's rotation, but at the veteran minimum, the risk to Indiana's cap is virtually zero. If she's sharp, she's a useful rotation piece. If she struggles, the Fever haven't compromised anything to find out. As a result, both Harris and Dantas are confirmed, and Indiana has now formally fulfilled all 4 off-season priorities within the first few hours of the signing period opening. The front court was upgraded, the backcourt is locked, the bench has a true point guard, and the veteran depth. Yet, however, Amber Cox made it clear that the front office isn't done, and the names still circling Indiana could completely alter this roster's ceiling. This time, it's very clear that they need defense and depth, and they're trying to win right now. They can't really bridge things any longer. 4 signings have been confirmed, 4 priorities have been met, and Amber Cox is already working the phones on the next wave. Since both Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham are expected to return, let's start with them. Hull's situation is a little complicated because she is a restricted free agent, so Indiana extends a qualifying offer and then watches to see if anyone makes a run at her from outside. If another team tables a number, the championship roster typically comes down to the depth pieces. Nayure Music for the players who don't start, but who you absolutely need when a playoff series goes 6 games and bodies start breaking down. Cunningham showed offensive versatility before injuries slowed her last season, and her scoring ability combined with Hull's off-ball movement creates wing depth that most WNBA teams genuinely can't match. Losing either of them leaves Indiana thin at a position where they need players who can guard and score Music on the same possession. Fever must decide whether to match it or let her walk. Her return isn't automatic, and the front office needs to stay engaged and ready to write a check that might be larger than they would like. Sophie Cunningham has been Caitlin Clark's biggest supporter and defender, and it literally irritates me when people say that she isn't the league's face. Then who would be? What? When people try to argue that she isn't our league's face? Yeah, or our league would be where we're at without her. You're dumb as hell. The sad thing about the video we just watched is that she is the first WNBA player I have seen publicly and openly state this without feeling embarrassed. Now, let's talk about Alana Smith and Azura Stevens because these 2 players have the potential to significantly alter the roster's ceiling. Smith can guard multiple positions, shoot from distance, and switch to guards in pick-and-roll coverage without getting lost. Exactly what Indiana needs as a playoff Music opponent. Starts looking for mismatches in a close series. Any opportunity, I believe, is about best fit. You know, I loved Minnesota, but a lot of teams look different this year. So I think I'd be doing myself a disservice if I weren't looking at other options. If you guys recall, Alana Smith was one of the players I thought the Indiana Fever should pursue in free agency. It may be a shot in the dark, but I think that she is just an amazing player. I simply adore the way she plays. I believe she would not match up, with Caitlin Clark. Stevens is 6 feet 6 inches tall, scores in the post, and defends with length that most WNBA forwards just don't have. Both players have publicly shown interest in the Fever, Music, but Stevens went one step further and shared a picture of herself wearing a Fever jersey. In WNBA free agency, that's not just a casual social media moment, it's a player telling the entire market where she wants to play. Come on, girl, we want you in Indiana. You talk about the perfect big for Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston. This girl, who is 6 feet 6 inches tall, has long arms, can rebound, play defense, attack closeouts, pump fake, put it on the ground, pull up midfield, and make threes with ease. Offensively, and she doesn't have to be the first, second, or even third option. You know why? Because she wasn't any of those things with the LA Sparks. Imagine this complete roster if Smith and Stevens both sign. Clark and Mitchell in the backcourt, Boston anchoring the interior, Billings providing size, and Mitchell's $1.4 million supermax. Music. Clark's $528,846. Harris running the second unit. Hull and Cunningham rotating at the wings, Stevens defending and scoring in the post, Smith switching onto guards, Ian Dantas as the veteran presence off the bench. That's a roster built to win playoff basketball in every game, not a team looking to compete. Salary and Boston's possible maximum contract under the Epic provision could push those 3 alone toward $3.1 million out of a roughly $7 million total cap. That leaves just under $4 million to fit Smith. Music cites Stevens, Hull, Cunningham, Harris, and Dantas, and every signing from now on requires the front office to thread a needle without blinking because in 2027, the salaries around Clark, Boston, and Mitchell get significantly more expensive. And this The window closes quickly, so we're definitely excited to watch it. You guys saw that on May 9th against the Dallas Wings, which will be the first time you'll see Caitlin wearing her Indiana Fever jersey. However, they're preparing for training camp, which begins on April 19th for her, but guess what? She won't be going anywhere. Going to hang around for a little while. So, does this roster truly win a championship? The Fever were asking Clark to be patient a year ago. Now, Clark is asking them to be bold, and they responded with 4 signings on the first day. If Hull, Cunningham, Smith, and Stevens all succeed, Indiana Music will no longer be a team that other teams scout and will instead become the team that every other front office bases their offseason on stopping. The Fever haven't held that position since their most recent championship run, which is a significant change. Do you think the Fever will win a championship in 2026? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. To ensure you never miss out, like, subscribe, music, and turn on all notifications. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.